then once you've built it up, you're gonna decrease. So what I wanna show you how to do is decrease. So I'm just gonna do a little 3x3 square, make it easy. So if we've gotten to this point, we've reached the end of the row, and we don't wanna make a fourth row. We wanna stick it at 3 rows, stay there at 3. We're gonna go ahead and chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and now we're going to flip it, okay? So flip it this way. Okay, I'm gonna do that again. So watch. I have an L, I'm gonna make a backwards L, okay? Now I'm going to slip stitch in that wiggle space. Okay. Now we're gonna go ahead and we're going to do 2 squares because we don't want to increase anymore. We already have this square here. This is where we're starting. So we're gonna go ahead and chain 2, okay? So if you think about it, you just made that original 5 chain that you would use to make a new square, but you're not. You're doing 3 to work back up that same square that you were on, and now we're doing 2 to build the square above. So go ahead and go into your wiggle space, and we're gonna do 3 double crochets. Okay, there's 1. Now we're going to go into the next square, hop up to the next step, wiggle space, going through, slip stitching. Now we're doing again, chain 2 and 3 double crochets in through that wiggle space. That's not a technical term, by the way. It's a me term. All right, here we go. Okay. So now I've reached the 3rd square on this side, and I don't want to build anymore. I'm trying to finish my square here. So we're going to do the same thing we did with this one. We're going to do our slip stitch through that wiggle space, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, flip it the other direction, and then we're going to find that wiggle space on that one from our last row, slip stitch. Now we're going to do our chain 2 and do our 3 double crochets in our wiggle space. I should patent that word, wiggle space. All right, see, we've got our, this is our chain. We've got our 1, 2, 3 double crochets. Now we're going to go ahead and do our slip stitch in the wiggle space of this middle one. We're going to go ahead. Okay, so see, we've got 3x3. But look at this corner. Doesn't look right. It doesn't have a point on it, does it? See, these 3 look like a square, but this one's kind of at an angle or a diagonal. So what we're going to do is do our last chain 3, flip it, and 1 more slip stitch. And that's it. See? We've got our 3x3 square. So that's all corner to corner is. C to C is crocheting from one corner of a square to the other corner. And it could be a rectangle, just depends. You'd have to perhaps do a decrease on one side and increase on the other if you're doing a rectangle. But for a square, it's just going back and forth until you reach whatever length you want it to be diagonally, how big you want your square. Then you're gonna work the other side by decreasing to get to the other corner. So I hope that this video helped. And don't forget to subscribe because, as I said, I'm going to be gearing up here for a crochet along. We're going to be making a blanket using the corner to corner technique, and we're going to be doing a cat gan instead of a graph gan. It's going to be kitty cats. Cartoony kitty cats. I've drawn them all up, and now I'm just testing the pattern. So hopefully early on next year, we'll go ahead and work on it together. Thanks, guys.